Hello there, my name is Richard McMahon from the job interview training website, passmyinterview.com, and in this tutorial I'm going to teach you how to answer behavioural interview questions. Now, behavioural interview questions come up during all job interviews and you need to answer these questions in a specific way to pass. So if you have an interview coming up soon for any role or company, make sure you stay tuned because I promise to help you pass your interview at the very first attempt. And to achieve that goal, this is what I will teach you in this training tutorial number 1. So I will explain what behavioural interview questions are and why they are used during job interviews. Number 2, I will then teach you the best method to use for answering difficult behavioural interview questions. Number 3, I am then going to give you lots of example behavioural interview questions and top scoring answers to make sure you pass your interview at the very first attempt. And then finally, number 4, I will tell you where you can instantly download these slides plus my 27 brilliant answers to behavioural interview questions in a PDF guide. And please make sure you hit that subscribe button. I am here to help you pass every job interview you ever attend, negotiate a salary and progress throughout your career. I can only do that if you are subscribed. And please give the video a like. Please hit that like button because that tells me you find these training videos useful and it also motivates me to create more content for you. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, to start with, what are behavioural interview questions? Well, behavioural interview questions assess how you have dealt with previous workplace situations. Now, behavioural interview questions start off by any of the following 3 ways. The interviewer will say to you either, tell me about a time when you, or describe a situation, or give an example of when you. So when you hear them start an interview question in any of those 3 methods, you know you are being asked a behavioural interview question. So they might say, tell me about a time when you delivered excellent customer service, or they might say, describe a situation when you were responsible for numerous tasks. And you can see these questions appear to be very difficult to answer. So how do you answer behavioural interview questions to get the highest scores achievable? Well, I strongly recommend you use what is called the STAR technique, STAR. Let me teach you the STAR technique and I will then give you those questions and answers. So the STAR technique is recognised by all employers and hiring managers as the number 1 correct way to answer behavioural interview questions. So let's assume you are sat down in the interview chair. The hiring manager says to you, tell me about a time when you worked in a team. You should immediately think, okay, this is a behavioural interview question. I need to use the STAR technique. So STAR stands for, it's very easy to remember, situation, task, action, and result. And I recommend you write that down. Take a note of the STAR technique because you are going to learn it and use it when answering the behavioural interview questions. So what does it mean? What does the STAR technique mean? Well, you begin your answer to the behavioural interview question and you outline the situation you were faced with. You then give brief details about the task that needed doing. What did you need to do during that situation? You then give in-depth details about the action you took to achieve the task. And then you finish off and talk about the results of your actions. Now, the result should always be positive. And that's something else to write down. Make sure that the result following your actions is positive. You need to make it positive to pass your job interview. Okay, let me now give you those top scoring behavioural interview questions and answers that use the STAR technique. And I will also tell you at some stage where you can download my full set of 27 behavioural interview questions and top scoring responses. So the questions I am about to give you are the ones that come up the most during job interviews. And in no particular order, here is the first one. Tell me about a time when you delivered excellent customer service. Here's my top scoring example response that uses the STAR technique. Here we go. I was speaking to a customer on the telephone. They wanted to buy a product, but unfortunately, it was out of stock. They thanked me for my time and said they would look elsewhere. Now, it was my task to keep the customer on the call and find a workaround that resulted in them getting the product they needed. I asked them several questions about their needs and soon realized we had an alternative product that was more suited to their needs and considerably cheaper. After explaining the benefits of our alternative product, they agreed to purchase it. Now, to thank them for being open to my alternative product suggestion, I gave them free shipping. They thanked me for my excellent customer service and left a 5-star review online. So that's a really good answer. You have delivered excellent customer service. You haven't given up on the customer and allowed them to leave the call. You have found a workaround. So it works for the customer and it also works for the company too. Here is my next behavioral interview question to help you pass your interview. Describe a situation when you were responsible for numerous tasks. This is a difficult one, but this answer is perfect. It's a brilliant example, and the majority of us have been in this type of situation before. Here we go. My supervisor asked for a volunteer to cover the work of a co-worker who was off sick. I agreed to volunteer because I saw it as an opportunity to diversify my skills and assist the company. My task was to take responsibility for their work in addition to my own and complete everything on time and to the expected standard. I created a list of my and my co-workers' tasks, placed them in order of priority based on the company's goals, and then set to work. I blocked out my diary, limited distractions, and when I was unsure of a particular task, I researched it. I completed all tasks successfully by prioritizing and organizing my work effectively, remaining calm, and demonstrating efficient time management capabilities. That's another really good answer. It's a concise response, and you can see how by using that STAR technique, situation, task, action, result, it enables you to give perfect top scoring answers. And this is another tip for you to take down. Don't remember your answers word for word. Remember the scenario. Just remember the story based on the interview question. And then remember the STAR technique, and that will prompt you of what you need to talk about in your answer. Here is the next question. Oh, by the way, before we move on to the next question, if at any time during this tutorial you want to download these slides and my full set of 27 brilliant answers to difficult behavioral interview questions, you can click that link in the top right hand corner of the video. Here's the next question. Tell me about a time when you had to work with someone you didn't get on with. Wow, this is a really difficult one. Here's my top scoring response that uses the powerful STAR technique of situation, task, action, and result. Here we go. I was tasked with working in a different team from my usual one. Now, despite my best efforts, a long-serving team member in that department was unhelpful and dismissive of my ideas during team meetings. Now, although I felt uncomfortable, I was determined to build a good relationship with her. I found out that we both supported the same sports team, and during a work break, I started talking to her about our common interest. She spoke freely, and I could tell she was pleased we had a shared love of the team. The next time I put forward ideas during meetings or asked her for assistance on tasks, she was really helpful, and we built a strong working relationship from that point forward. That is a clever, smart answer to that difficult interview question, because you are trying to find a common interest outside of work, which means then she is more amenable to helping you moving forward. So you build a relationship based on your common interest outside of work. That's a very smart answer. And you can see how all of these responses are going to help you be the top candidate at your next interview. Here's the next question. This is another really difficult behavioral interview question. Describe a time when you had a disagreement with your boss or manager. Now, most people respond by saying, I've never had a disagreement with them. They are always right and I would do what they say. That's not the way to answer this question. It's not a trick question. They are asking you this behavioral interview question to assess your confidence and how you deal with your disagreement. You need to be calm and professional. Here's the perfect answer. Describe a time when you had a disagreement with your boss. My manager set aside a large budget to market a new product we would soon launch. Now, 100% of the budget had been allocated to offline marketing campaigns such as magazines, trade shows and radio commercials. I felt this wasn't an effective use of the budget. My task was to convince my manager that the budget could be better utilized with a focus on online advertising. I researched to establish the best online platforms where we could easily reach our target audience and presented my idea to my manager. Now, after answering her questions and providing facts and evidence of how we could test the results of our marketing online, she agreed to switch 50% of the budget over to my recommendations. Now, 4 weeks after the product launch, we had evidence to prove my online marketing suggestions gave a more significant return, and then the entire budget was switched over. So that's a really good response, and it shows that you put the interests of the company first. You are not afraid to disagree with your manager, and you do it by presenting them with facts and evidence. It's a really strong answer. Here's the next behavioral interview question. Tell me about a time when you encountered an unexpected problem. This is another really difficult question to answer. Here's my top scoring response to help you. My work colleague and I were hard at work preparing customer orders following the weekend sales. Now, unexpectedly, one of our key suppliers went out of business and could no longer supply one of our popular products. And to make matters more difficult, our manager was on annual leave for the week. Our task was to create a solution to this problem to maintain operational efficiency and customer satisfaction. I suggested my colleague should source an alternative product supplier while I contacted all customers to pre-warn them of the slight delay in product dispatch. Now, after an hour, my colleague sourced an alternative supplier at the same cost as the previous one and who could deliver the products to us the following morning. I convinced all customers to wait an additional 24 hours for delivery, and to thank them for their patience, we gave them a 10% discount voucher off any future orders. Now, when our manager returned to work the following week, we briefed her on our actions and she praised us for dealing efficiently with the unexpected problem. That's a cracking answer because it shows that you can deal with a situation while your manager is away, it's unexpected, and you come up with the perfect solution. It shows that you are professional, you can think on your feet and create the right solution for the company. It shows that you are self-sufficient, basically, which is what this question is assessing. Here is the next behavioral interview question we need to tackle. Describe a time when you made a mistake. Again, don't say, I never make mistakes at work, I'm a perfectionist. Don't say that. Here's how to respond to it. Describe a time when you made a mistake. When I started work in my previous job, my manager asked me to give a presentation to my team. My task was to deliver a presentation on my background, work experience, and what I could bring to the team. Now, unfortunately, I misheard his instructions, and instead of giving a 5-minute presentation, I prepared one 15 minutes long. After the presentation, my manager pointed out my mistake. I apologized for my error and assured him I would write down concise notes and adhere to all instructions moving forward. Following that initial mistake, I never made one again, and my manager often praised me for my strong work ethic, ability to accept feedback, and my desire to continually improve. It's another really good answer. These are powerful responses. You can't find these answers anywhere else. Here is the next question. Tell me about your proudest professional accomplishment. This question is assessing whether or not you are a high achiever. Here's my example answer. Tell me about your proudest professional accomplishment. In my previous job, I worked on a team responsible for redesigning and upgrading the company's website. Our task was to work with graphic designers and web developers to create a dynamic, user-friendly, mobile-compatible and sales-driven website. We established our brief, set tasks based on our strengths and set to work. Now, my job was to create search engine-friendly blog content for all the pages so they ranked well on Google. My work would help save the company money on advertising costs. Now, once the website launched, it was a huge success and sales conversions increased by 27% on the previous website design. It was my proudest professional achievement because it was a combined team effort and we surpassed our manager's expectations. That's a really good answer because you are saying it's your proudest accomplishment because you are doing something positive for the company. And that's a really clever answer. And you are saying it was my proudest achievement because it was a combined team effort. It shows you are a team player and you surpassed your manager's expectations. And that's why it's your proudest accomplishment. That's a smart answer. Now, this is a difficult question that is starting to come up more often during job interviews. The behavioral interview question is about change and your ability to adapt to change. The question is, describe a time when your team or company was going through change. How did the change impact you and what did you do to adapt? Here we go. My previous company had new owners and they wanted to change working practices, hours and systems. The majority of people in the company opposed the new changes, but I saw this as an opportunity to try something new. It was my responsibility to embrace the change because change ensures a business is competitive and it helps maintain its position as a market leader. I listened to the new company owner's proposals, asked questions to determine the reasons for the changes and determined what we could do as a team to support them. I encouraged my work colleagues to try the changes too, as they may find them positive. Now, 3 months after the changes were implemented, working processes improved and output in the office increased significantly. That shows that you are supportive of change, you understand why it is so important to a company, and you are prepared to embrace it and encourage your work colleagues to do the same. Here is the next question. Tell me about a time you set yourself a goal to achieve. What did you do to ensure you would meet your objective? This is another difficult but common behavioral interview question. Here's my example response that uses that STAR technique. Tell me about a time you set yourself a goal to achieve. What did you do to ensure you would meet your objective? Here we go. After reflecting on my performance in my previous job, I wanted to improve my sales skills. Although competent in my work, I wanted to improve in a skill that would help the company thrive. I set myself the goal of studying and completing an online sales techniques course within 4 weeks. After finding a suitable course on the website udemy.com, I dedicated 1 hour each evening to learning and studying. After 1 month, I successfully completed the end of course examination and passed. That's another great answer that shows you reflect on your performance, you set yourself a goal, and you work hard to achieve it. And then at the end, you can say, my sales skills improved significantly as a result of the course, which helped me increase sales for my employer. So that's clever at the end because you are giving reasons why your goal had a positive impact on the organization. Nobody's telling you to set that goal. At the beginning, if you remember, we said, after reflecting on my performance in my previous job, I wanted to improve my sales skills. That's the powerful part of that answer. It's a really good response and it shows you are a forward-thinking employee. Now, the next thing to do, make sure you click that link right now in the top right-hand corner of the video. Head straight through to my website, passmyinterview.com, and you can immediately download these slides plus my full set of unique top scoring answers to behavioral interview questions. You will get 27 brilliant answers to common behavioral interview questions. At the very least, go through to that page and have a look at all the questions on there. Those are the ones that come up the majority of time during job interviews. Check them out because I want you to be fully prepared for your job interview. Also, I said at the start of this training video make sure you subscribe to the channel. As you can see, I am committed to creating brilliant content for you, free content that helps you not only pass every job interview, but also negotiate a salary and progress throughout your career. I can only help you if you are subscribed. It's really important. Lots of you are literally earning more money. You are getting promoted. And as I said, progressing throughout your careers. I can only help you if you are subscribed. Also, don't forget to give the video a like. I did ask that at the start. If you haven't liked it, please hit the like button. I do appreciate that support. Seriously, a lot of work goes into this. And if I see you liking the videos, it encourages me to create more for you. And also, don't forget to connect with me on the website LinkedIn. So I have a LinkedIn profile. I like to connect with like-minded professionals such as yourself. Check the description below the video and you'll see my LinkedIn link. Go across to that website, connect with me on LinkedIn, say hi. It's always good to connect with like-minded professionals such as yourself. Thank you for watching. I hope you found those answers to difficult behavioural interview questions useful. Have a wonderful day and I wish you all the best for passing your job interview. Thank you for watching.